everyone, it's nice to have you back. Today we're going to work on the focal point for the cover of our Lapbook journal Who Am I series, and this is what I've came up with that I would like to use. So I have made this I guess for a practice one, and then I'm going to show you how I did it. I took a group of book pages. This one is, let's see, between 6 and 10 pieces. And then I have taken a stencil for my oval, and I placed it about in the center of the pages and drew a circle around it. Then I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to do 2 rows of zigzag stitch around my circle, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have the stitching done, and now I'm going to show you how I have made this into that textured, layered piece that we have here. I've taken my craft knife, my X-Acto knife, whatever kind that you have, and I'm going to make 2 slits, one from the top to the bottom, and then from side to side. And then I'm going to tear these out. Some of them will be real close to the stitching, others will be further apart, but I want to tear all of them out until I get an open hole here. It does not matter. You do not have to be consistent with how close you're doing these, whether they're all torn at the same, actually, if they're not all torn at the same width, the same closeness to your stitching, that's more interest on your page. It'll be easier to get some layers if you start maybe closer to the center and then work on some layers after that that are a little further away from your stitching line. You want them to be different because we want the layers. So anyhow, I'm going to do all this, take all this apart, and then we need to make it look dimensional. We need to add some layers and get way to the end of this. So it'll be hard to actually get the same size twice because this is so random when you're tearing it that each one that you do is going to be a little different. Nothing wrong with that either. So didn't get all the way down through the first time, so I'm going to do a little more. There we go. Okay, and after we've done that, then we're going to take like maybe 2 pages at a time, and we're going to do the outside. Again, varying how far you are away from the stitches. We want this to be wider in parts than in others, and very random. Nothing that has to be perfect. We're just going to pull it away, and of course you do want to leave some so that it gives you, I'm going to tear right up these sides of these pages here so that I can get the where they're bound together. I want to get that off because that's kind of in my way. There. And then I'm going to continue to pull these all apart until I have them all off. Now, if you want, you can leave like the last page on, or maybe even the last couple pages. What I'm doing with mine is I'm taking them all off, and then in the end, I'm going to add a piece because I want to put some lace between it. So there, I'm ruining the surprise of what's next, right? And you can go back and adjust this, like when we're trying to roll them back, and you might need to tear here a little more, or tear there a little more. This side was just in my way, so I just needed to be able to get up here closer, so that's why I went from the bottom up. I think I'll keep those. Okay, so now we have it all torn off. This edge didn't get torn quite raggedy enough, so let me get some more done on this edge. What we want to do is start from the inside, and we're going to take the pages and we're going to start folding them back and crumpling them up and ripping them here and there, and whatever we can do to make this really, really used and make it look distressed. This part I felt was kind of the hardest part. The papers just really didn't want to move from where I had stitched them, and so you might have to go in like I just did there and tear a little more, but you just work on it till you get them tattered. We want them tattered. Tear that a little more so it'll bend. And the more you work with this, the better it is. I'm trying to do rush here a little bit so that you don't get too bored with the video. So you have something like this for the inside. There. And liking that. Then after you've done that, you take your fingers and you can just roll them. You can just work with this a little bit more. Then you're going to, from the outside, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to crumple these papers up. You're going to roll them. You're going to rip them. And do what you can do to make this look dimensional and rustic. So, and you can stop at any point. If you only want to roll a couple layers and tear a couple layers, that's all you have to do. It's yours. Do what you want. So I'm going to stop here, although probably for me, I would want to go like I did with my first one and do all the way. Just really tear and crumple and just really make that look ragged. So then I would take an ink pad and I would work the edges of these papers. Push them back, add the ink, and ink them up as much or as little as you want. And then from the outside, I'm going to pull them in. And this also helps to roll them and turn them too. And if they rip a little, all the better, right? And just get as much ink on there as however you want it to look. Okay? And so as you can see, it is a much different size than my first one I did, even though we used the same stencil. Okay? So that's what we're after. That's how easy it is to do. Now I'm going to show you how I would incorporate that on the cover of my journal. Now, if you remember right, we had beat dyed this fabric for our cover. And then I have taken it, and this is going to be my front side. And I have taken my journal cover, and what I want is I want a piece, try to get in frame here. I'm going to fold this all together like this, and this is how it goes. What I want a piece is a piece that goes from this edge here all the way around the front, the top, down the spine, all the way across the back, up the spine, and meeting back here again. So I cut this piece so that it would be big enough to do that. Then I went in and as it was laying down, I marked where the different sections are that it's going to fold. So I knew where this gets folded in. See, that's why I did it. I knew where this section was. I knew where the spine was, so that when I'm laying my lace and what have you over it, I know where I'm at and what I'm doing. So here are the marks here. So I know from here to here is going to be my top part. This is going to be my spine, and then we're going to the back and then back up around to the front again. I have chosen, get back. I took and I pulled threads to make this all frayed, hopefully so it's nice and even. First thing I'll do is go around the edge with zigzags so that doesn't fray anymore. Found this doily with some picot edge on it, and I really liked that, and I thought it was a nice fit. I love the color of it, and so I'm going to put that on here first. Then I'm going to take a piece of book paper, and it's already, this is the, I don't know how old it is, but I already did some inking around the edges of it, and I'll put this between these two lines so that it's centered right on the cover of my book. And I have chosen to add another piece of lace over top of that. And then I'm going to put my focal point here. I have some tatting that I had found, and I'm not sure if I'm going all the way around or if I'm just going to do the top or the bottom. I'll decide that as I start getting it put together. I also thought I would take a piece of the fabric that's on the inside that we beat stained, and these are some of the threads that I pulled from the cover and to make a frayed edge, and I'm going to put a little stack of those on there, and this is the fabric that we've used on the inside of our book, and I'm going to put that here. I also have some leaves that I want to put on each corner. I think 3 on each corner. Like so. And then I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure I want to add some beads or something, maybe in between some of our folds. But this is the decisions that I have made for sure that I'm going to do. What I'm going to put in the circle, I haven't decided. It might be a picture of myself because it's a Who Am I journal, or I just might put the title, Who Am I? Or I might just put a flower in there. I don't know. So that's going to be the top cover of our lap book. Now for the cover that comes up and around and is inside, I have decided to put another piece of this lace here and some more of the tatting here. I think probably just 1 row of tatting. We have some of this trim on the inside of our book. I may add some of this to the front also. I haven't decided for sure yet. And then I'll probably put some sort of label or tag or something down in here. That's where I am with the cover. I'm going to put all this together, and then I'll be back and we'll discuss what's going to happen next. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. This is Bev from Art by Bedell, and hit like and subscribe and that little button, that little bell, so that you get notified of when my next video on the cover is going up. Talk to you soon. Bye now.